also what they've done in the commentary that they had for Catherine, we spoke about last week during Remembrance Day. And they referred to her several times, not by her name, Princess Catherine, but by Kate Middleton. And lots of people
Mm.
burst a blood vessel saying it's so totally disrespectful on that sort of basis. It is interesting, though, because
There are moments in the royal family when a single mistake, made in a split second, ignites an unexpected firestorm. Moments when a misstep, however small, lands with shocking weight because of the person at the center of it. And this time, that person was Catherine, Princess of Wales, one of the most respected, admired, and dignified figures in modern royalty. During one of the most solemn and emotionally charged events of the year, the princess stood in quiet reflection to honor Britain's fallen. And yet, in that sacred moment of remembrance, something went wrong. Something that would trigger outrage across the nation, spark political commentary, and force one of the most powerful broadcasters in the world to publicly apologize. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. It began on Armistice Day, a day of deep national meaning, the kind of day where every word spoken by public figures is chosen with care. Every movement holds symbolic weight, and every participant understands they are part of a moment bigger than themselves. Catherine, Princess of Wales, was present at the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire, a space dedicated to remembering those who gave their lives in service to the country. Dressed in solemn black, with a demeanor that reflected both dignity and compassion, she stood as a representative of the crown, honoring the past with the grace that has defined her public life. But as the BBC broadcast live coverage of the event, viewers noticed something that felt glaring, jarring, and to many, deeply disrespectful. Instead of referring to her by her correct title, the broadcaster repeatedly called her Kate Middleton, a name she has not officially carried since 2011. A name associated with her pre-royal life, long before she became the Duchess of Cambridge, and even longer before she was elevated to Catherine, Princess of Wales, upon King Charles's accession in 2022. In a moment of national remembrance, during a broadcast watched by millions, the BBC used a title she had not held in more than a decade. And the reaction was immediate. On social media, frustration poured in. Royal watchers, supporters, and casual viewers alike were stunned that such an established, authoritative broadcaster could make such a fundamental mistake. One user demanded, "Who is the moron calling the Princess of Wales Kate Middleton on BBC News?" Another questioned whether the broadcaster had become left-wing or even Republican for refusing to use her correct royal title. These comments, while emotionally charged, represent public opinion and not verified claims about BBC's intentions. Yet their volume reflected a collective sense of irritation and disbelief. By the time the broadcast ended, the outrage had reached such a level that the BBC was forced to respond swiftly. On November 14th, they issued a formal apology directly addressing the error. The statement was clear. During our coverage of memorials to commemorate Armistice Day, we mistakenly referred to Catherine, Princess of Wales, as Kate Middleton. These were errors during hours of live broadcasting for which we apologize. The broadcaster then clarified that throughout the most of the wider Armistice Day coverage, they had used her correct title. This was not the kind of apology issued lightly. It was a recognition of the gravity of the occasion, the expectations placed on the BBC as a national institution, and the immense respect the public holds for Catherine. Her title matters to the nation, not because of hierarchy or formality, but because of the role she has come to embody. She is the Princess of Wales, the future Queen Consort, and one of the most stabilizing figures within the monarchy. Titles in the royal world are not cosmetic. They carry history, responsibility, and emotional significance. To use her maiden name in such a solemn context felt to many like ignoring all that she represents today. The concern extended beyond emotional reactions. Jim Shannon, MP for Strangford, publicly criticized the BBC. His message was direct, a reminder to BBC News to educate its broadcasters that the Princess of Wales has not been Kate Middleton since 2011. Her correct title is Catherine, Princess of Wales. Get it right. His words echoed the public sentiment that accuracy in titles is not optional, especially during national events where protocol must be precise. This reaction did not come from an anonymous source. It came from an elected official who felt strongly enough to intervene publicly. But why did this mistake hit so hard? To understand that, one must look at Catherine's role in the monarchy. Since marrying William in 2011, she has undergone a profound transformation, not forced upon her, but embraced with sincerity and purpose. She has grown from a young woman thrust into the global spotlight into a deeply respected senior royal. As the Duchess of Cambridge, she built a reputation rooted in kindness, reliability, and quiet resilience. She became patron of charities, championed mental health causes, supported families and children, and took on responsibilities with humility and dedication. When King Charles ascended to the throne in 2022, William became the Prince of Wales, inheriting centuries of tradition and responsibility. Catherine in turn became the Princess of Wales, a title previously held by Diana, whose legacy remains emotionally powerful in the public imagination. It was not a title given lightly, nor one without historical weight. She has carried it with grace, embracing a role that requires poise, empathy, and strength under constant scrutiny. So when the BBC called her Kate Middleton during a national moment of remembrance, many felt it diminished not only her status, but her journey. To some viewers, it seemed careless, to others, disrespectful, and to many, simply wrong. The mistake carried an added sting because of the setting, Remembrance Day, a moment of solemn national unity where accuracy and respect are paramount. The outrage online was swift and fierce. Some expressed their anger bluntly, as social media often does, calling the air disrespectful and questioning how such a mistake could happen in a professional live broadcast. Others wondered whether it was a sign of political bias or even anti-royal sentiment, which remain unverified and are based solely on personal opinion. But regardless of the interpretation, the emotional impact was real. People felt protective of Catherine. There is something about her presence, calm, poised, compassionate, that resonates deeply with the public. She rarely makes mistakes, rarely invites controversy, rarely puts a foot wrong. She represents modern royalty at its best, relatable but dignified, traditional yet forward-looking, reserved but warm. She has become a symbol of stability in a world where so much is uncertain. And for many viewers, using her correct title is a sign of the respect she has earned. It is also a matter of royal protocol. Titles are not decorative. They reflect rank, responsibility, and history. Catherine's title changed when she married William. Her title changed again when William moved one step closer to the throne. She is not Kate Middleton, the private citizen. She is Catherine, Princess of Wales, the future queen consort. When the BBC gets her title wrong, even accidentally, it cuts across the precision expected in royal coverage.